Hi there, everyone, and welcome into your astrology forecast for this first half of December of 2022, leading into the full moon we have in Gemini on December 8th. Where I'm going to be tuning into the astrology and the energy and giving you a heads up on what you might expect over this next few weeks. My name is Chrissy Whistler. I am an intuitive, a channel, and I'm also an evolutionary astrologer. And I have a lovely holiday offering going on for you right now, where I am offering 10% off all my readings, which includes Chart Your Stars, where we uncover and explore your soul's evolutionary direction and drive for this life. And any challenges that you might be having at this moment, we can go and look at your birth chart using astrology to see what is coming up for you and how you can best navigate this moment. You'll find all that information at my website, chrissywhistler.com. And please like this video, subscribe to this channel. That truly does help me so much to get this message out there to more people like you. And I really do appreciate you for being here so much, and also for even being interested in astrology and wanting to know what is happening and what is up with this energy. Yes, what indeed is up with this energy? Just these past few days alone, I have had many different people reaching out and asking me what is going on, just because things are really coming to the surface. Things have been really intense. I'm feeling it, certainly. I am also witnessing it in my children, and just the collective energy has just been palpable with it. I also am following other sensitives and energy workers, and it's really interesting to hear them sharing the same experience. So if you've been feeling that, do know that you are not alone. And how this might show up for you, it's going to be different for each of you. Just depending on how you feel the world around you, your central nervous system, how sensitive you are. I get a lot of heart palpitations, for example, especially when the sun is being very active, which he is currently starting to pick up again. Or just feeling anxiety and overwhelm that's not even yours. It's like beyond you. So you may also find that you are having spikes of energy or intensity where you feel fine and you have periods of calm, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's this sudden spike of this energy, of this overwhelm and this anxiety, and what's coming to the surface for all of us at this time. So do keep in mind that that it can come in waves like that, where you're not always in necessarily this intense period that comes out of nowhere and just kind of bites you in the butt. At least that's been kind of my experience. Another way that it's been coming up for me is sometimes I do get ringing out of my ear. The left one for me, but for those of you out there, it could be your right. Or also almost like bursts of almost headaches right in my third eye, where it's sudden, sharp, and doesn't last long for me. Other people who are more prone to headaches and stuff, that could be very different. But I always feel like it's like my third eye is kind of getting blown open by that sudden experience. So that could be some of what you might be experiencing as well. And I do expect that these energies are going to continue to increase as we build towards the winter solstice on December 21st. So just be aware that this is going on in the energy field, and even those who are not sensitive to it, who have these really strong antennas like you might have, they're still picking up on it. It's still affecting them. They're just, it's just at a more unconscious level. Whereas for you, it might be much more physical, much more aware, and again, intense. So just kind of heads up, some of the things that you can do with that to help manage that energy is go be in nature, if that's possible for you. Go connect to the earth in some way. I do know that it's getting colder. I mean, even here in Los Angeles, like I'm wearing a sweater as opposed to just a t-shirt and shorts. But try and get outside. If connecting to the bare earth isn't possible because it's too cold, even just standing in the sunlight or just going out and breathing the crisp air, that's going to help you bring you back into the present moment, to help calm your central nervous system. Also drink lots of water as well. Move your body. Movement really helps to expel this excess energy that might be really swirling through you at this time. So those are just some kind of quick tips for you if you are feeling it and you don't know how to release it and move it through your body. And the other thing as well is with all of the intuitive readings that I've been doing, it's been coming through very clearly that this is a time for us to go within. And I know that is counter to what our current Western culture, at least in the North, is for this period of time, this going into winter time with the holidays and Christmas. Just for example, there is this sense of having to rush around, which is, again, if you're picking up extra anxiety and overwhelm, that is the collective experience right now. So focus on like nature, the way nature does it. There is this time of going within, hibernating, being quiet and still. That has been a very repeated theme in every single reading that I've been doing. So what do you need to do to really tune into yourself so you can go within and hear the messages that are guidance that are coming in for you? Especially this early December when we have a lot of Pisces energy being activated. So I'm going to kind of get into the astrology pieces of that. Now, December 1st might have been a very intense energy day for you, and you might have been feeling it. Why is that? Well, we had Mercury going through Sagittarius was square to Neptune in Pisces. And then on December 4th, Venus is going to follow and be square to Neptune. And that's actually right as Neptune has been going direct. And I'll get to that in just a minute. So what can this mean? There is this natural tension that's happening right now. And even after those dates, you're still going to be feeling that energy. Conjunctions are generally like in a 10-degree orb, so you're still feeling this early December. So what's coming to the surface, okay? What is truth and what is illusion? What is universal truth versus one belief, one truth, one way of doing things? And I'm sure you can see in your life how that might be really coming up for you. Lower octave Sagittarius is more of that like cult like belief system where there is only one truth, one perspective, one way of doing things. Like there's only one God and this particular religion says what it is and everybody else is wrong. Everyone else's belief is wrong, and this is the only right one. So that is that's that lower octave Sagittarius. Higher octave is there can be many truths that are equally true, depending on perspective. So that's this energy that we really have swirling around us, and again, this creative tension. Can we discern truth from illusion? Where's that showing up in your life? How is that showing up in the world, all around all of us, okay? And with Neptune currently retrograde just for a few more days, okay, it's a more reflective energy where it's a little bit easier to see that truth, to discern. And so what are we going to do with that? Are we going to continue to see from this deeper understanding and perspective, to see from these many viewpoints of truth? And that's going to be up to each of us to decide. It is a choice. So look in your life. How is this truth coming up for you? Truth and what is illusion? And are you able to see it clearly? And you may not be able to well at first. And we're going to get some more clarity, more of that fog starting to ease around this full moon on December 8th. But we may not quite be there yet. Not quite yet. There's stuff that we're still sifting through, truth versus illusion. And now, on December 3rd, Neptune is going to be going stationary direct, and again, it's in Pisces. In general, in your life, you might be feeling a lot more forward momentum. We have all of the outer planets are going to be moving forward by January 22nd. Even Uranus will be going forward that day. So right now we're already starting to feel this shift, that ways are opening up, that we can finally move forward. It's not fully there yet. And again, there's because of these outer planets, and there's also Saturn still in the mix, which I'll get to in just a moment. But with Neptune going direct on the 3rd, what are some of the things that you can expect? Well, Neptune, Pisces is unbound water, so we could have experiences of even more flooding, media, illusion, delusion, fantasy, addiction, escapism, drugs, pharmaceuticals, like those can all be really heightened and highlighted at this time. And that's that lower octave of Pisces, okay? Higher octave, this is when we really start to get into this more spiritual, mystical connection, this unconditional love. Pisces is, it's me, it's you, it's nature, it's this boundarylessness experience. We are all connected. We are all one. That's really the Pisces energy of the being this divine channel. So this could be a really wonderful time to go into nature and to meditate, to be in stillness. Okay, so again, more messages of stillness coming through. To also a great time to go play with your creativity, where you are a channel. Maybe it's in writing, maybe it's in music or art or just dancing. Your body and your expression, your movement becomes this channel of divine energy that moves through you. And with Neptune is also conjunct to Jupiter right now in Pisces. So there can be this real expansion of any of those energies. So be aware that what's coming up for you, whether it's that higher or the lower expression of Neptune. We can have real expansion again of fantasy, illusion, delusion around the news and media, and it can be difficult to discern that truth. Or we might experience this expansion of our spiritual gifts and our sensitivities as well. It can be really heightened and coming online in whole new ways. So look for that. I would suggest for you to be present as almost like the antidote for this energy and these experiences. Be present with what is, with your five senses. really connect and be in nature. Connect to what you believe in, if it's God or source. Especially so if you find yourself really getting pulled into any of the illusions that are really being projected and pushed on you. All the information that's getting thrown at us at this time. We do have Mars retrograde in Gemini, so really difficult time to keep our focus. We can feel very stuck. We don't know the way forward. Our energy, our attention is very scattered. So pull yourself back from all those energies, from the illusions, and just kind of really focus in back in your body. Be present. Tune into that higher source, that higher power, and see what comes through for you. And can you also go play in that energy? In fact, this would be a very good time to even just turn off the news and really tune into your heart and let that be your guide right now. And then I mentioned earlier we have Venus, okay? She's going to be square to Neptune on the 4th of December. And this energy is really going to be about what is our values. And because Venus is in Sagittarius. So everything I mentioned with the Sagittarius energy is also going to be true for Venus, but it's around values. It's around exchange, money, relationships, giving and receiving resources. Okay, those are all Venus energies. Beauty, 5 senses, the things that we love. So, what is our values? And are these values everyone's values? Are they universal values? Are they speaking to a more universal law, cosmic law? What is the meaning of love can really be coming forward and finding some questioning around that for you. What is the meaning of true love? Unconditional love. And do I have that in my life? You may find that you have people in your life who are reflecting or even projecting that question onto you, beliefs even. So look and see how that could be coming up. And also, it is this, are we imposing one value onto other people unnaturally? And is that one belief actually an illusion? That can also be some of the expressions that this is being played out at this time. And as I said, money, relationships, resources, that's all on the table with this Venus energy. And Spirit's reminding me to share as well is that in the dream spell calendar, which is also known as the Galactic Mayan calendar, we are in the Warrior Waves spell, and this is day 2. So we have another 11 days of being in this energy. And this is also very much about this collective energy, this collective consciousness. Think of it like the spider's web, how we are all interconnected. So that energy, think of it as almost as well as this real backdrop for this period of time. So you can be picking up on this energy of values and this maybe even imposing it values. And it's not even coming from you, but you're sensing it from the people around you. It's really being brought to the surface. So be mindful that that energy as well is also being highlighted and also at play in a whole other astrological system. So I do love bringing in others because they have other flavors and other messages to share with us. So we get a more fuller picture of what is going on. And as I mentioned, there can be this feeling of we're finally getting this forward momentum, we're ready to run forward, and then all of a sudden it's like we're coming into this brick wall. So let me know in the comments if you've been experiencing that. If you're like, yes, the weight's finally clear, and then all of a sudden you're like, no, it's not. What is going on? Well, what is going on is Saturn, okay? This restriction, this force that's coming in to say, no, you can't do this. You need to work for this thing that you're trying to create, or this new pioneering way of doing things. You need to work hard if you want this thing to last. All right, that's some of Saturn and Saturn's teaching for us. We do have the moon being square to Saturn around that same time as I was speaking. But we also still have Saturn is square to the nodes of the moon and Uranus. So that square is starting to ease. So it's loosening, but it's not quite free of it yet. So there is still this experience of top-down authority, this old versus the new, really trying to hold on, even as it's falling away and it's not working, it's still there. So be mindful of where your energy and intention is around that. Where's your focus going? And how within yourself can you be aware of your own moments of resistance to this new future that is being created, where we're heading? This is a real almost gut check on where you're falling in that perspective, as well as where others around you, where are they at? Now, we do have our own individual journeys, but it really does also help to just kind of be aware of how others are reacting, because it gives you some almost more space for grace for the experience that they are having and the parts of them that are coming to the surface and wanting to be seen, because it is a difficult, trying time, and we're really in that birth canal of these changes being brought forth, but we're not there yet. So uncertainty and being afraid of uncertainty is a real thing us humans go through. So just be mindful and aware that energy is still in play. And on December 5th, we also have, on that same day with the moon squaring Saturn, okay, we have Mercury square to Jupiter in Pisces. Okay, so we could very much be seeing that played out sharply on the world stage, because they are on what's known as the world axis. So this energy is around big visions and dreams, higher vantage points of our dreams, that's Jupiter and Pisces, and how can we move forward into those dreams to then go explore them. And yes, there can be some real challenging creative tension on how to even communicate this dream with others in a way that can be understood. That's that Mercury over in Sagittarius. So we can have this experience of being incredibly intuitive, getting these downloads, from source, from God. It's like they're coming in from the on high. We just suddenly know it in our whole being, and we don't know how we know, and yet we know it. All right, that's Jupiter, that's Sagittarius. And yet, with that square energy, how can we actually communicate that in a way to others? This bigger vision, this bigger picture, dream, never been seen, never been done before. How can we communicate that in a way that makes sense, where others can understand us? So that can be some of the theme that might be your experience that you're having as well. And again, it's like this creative tension is frustrating as it can be, because you're like, oh my gosh, I have this thing, I can see it and I can feel it. I'm frustrated because the words are not coming out and connecting, right brain, left brain, in a way that others can understand. So some of that creative tension is, how can I actually communicate this thing? So it's almost like forcing you to think and communicate in a whole way, a whole new way that is completely different, and you're being forced to do that. So that could be some of your experience. And then on December 7th and 8th, depending on where you live in the world, we have our full moon in Gemini. It's 16 degrees Gemini. So go look in your chart and see where 16 degrees Gemini falls for you. And again, if you do need help with that, please check out my website, chrissywhistler.com, and we can set you up with your own Chart Your Stars reading to understand how this energy is affecting you. But, all right, clearing that energy. So at this full moon, we have the moon is conjunct Mars, who is retrograde in Gemini, which of course is then opposite to the sun in Sagittarius. So Mars is also square to Neptune as well. So what does any of that mean? We are putting a lot of energy right now into reviewing and reflecting on our choices and the facts, that's Gemini, and what actions that we might have taken, especially from the past. There's Mars. So we're really going over this information that we've had from the past and the truth that may have been obscured from us, hidden from us. This can especially be true around the news, media. What are the illusions? What are the truth? Okay, so there's more of that energy kind of coming in. Also, I'm hearing pharmaceutical as well. So that's just the archetype of these energies and what we can be seeing and experiencing. And we may have some new clarity coming forward around this and being able to discern this truth from illusion. We do have, Neptune again is going direct, and then Mars is really kind of forcing us to reflect on this past information. And it can be a lot of information as well. Again, Mars has a lot of energy, and Gemini can be very scattered. Gemini so curious. It wants to jump from one thing to the next, one group to the next. So be mindful of your energy, especially around this facts and information, truth versus illusions. Just know that is there. There can also be a lot of anger and frustration right now, especially as this clarity is coming in around facts and information from the past. This is Mars conjunct the moon. Okay, moon is also can be very emotional. It can be the people. So a lot of emotions, a lot of frustration and anger around that, around maybe what we were told was truth, and we are now able to discern, no, that wasn't truth at all. That was actually an illusion. And this thing over here that you told me was an illusion, that was actually the truth. So again, can you just in my expression, like you can feel that scattered energy of like you're jumping back because it's like you're doing multiple gymnastics with your mental body, trying to see this bigger picture. And it can even be this experience of that piece of it was true. That piece of it was true. Those parts, those were false. But when we put these together up here, we're forming a whole new truth. So that can be some of the experience at this full moon. At this full moon. Okay. And I'm going to say as well, again, there's a lot of creativity that can be coming in. The sun is square to Neptune. So again, higher spiritual connection. And this opportunity as well of us putting all these pieces together and now trying to see from this higher vantage point, are we even able to see from a higher, more spiritual vantage point? these past experiences that we've had. So to see it almost from a new facet with new information, like you're turning the diamond a little bit and you're seeing it from a whole new perspective, than even initially as the truth is revealed to you. There is a lot of energy moving around right now. And so the question becomes, what do we do with it? Do we want to feel like we're a leaf being blown on the wind right now? This ungrounded anxiety, overwhelm, feeling insecure, unsecure, this just again, overwhelm from the world at the holidays. Okay, who's overwhelmed with the holidays? Even if you're not doing a whole lot, it's just in the air. It's palpable. You can feel it. All right. So, what do you want to do with the energy? And that's a question to ask yourself almost each and every moment. Do you want to get pulled into that vortex? Okay, and it is a vortex. Or do you want to free up that energy for what it is that you are here to create? Our intention and attention really matters. With the sun at 16 degrees of Sagittarius, it's right next to what's called the Great Attractor. And that is also very much, just like Sagittarius, it's about natural law. And what we are creating, what we want to build for this new earth, is aligned to earth with natural law and cycles of nature. Is it in harmony with the natural world? So if you have something on your soul that you're creating and your answer is yes, it is aligned to this higher law, this universal law, in alignment with nature, harmony. Like there's so much creative energy and force behind you. So I really encourage you to go and do that thing. You might even want to really take this time to, again, meditate on this full moon. I think you might be very surprised at the information that comes flowing down through you from on high. Use this energy to your advantage, okay? Focus your attention and intention on those dreams, those visions, those ideas. This really is an opportunity for all of us to bring something into our world that's from the future, something anew, amazing, and big. And I will add as well, we also still have Black Moon Lilith going through Cancer. Now, Black Moon Lilith is this real primordial feminine energy. She is this creatrix energy, powerful, emotional, raw. She is also in line with this natural law, natural world energy. And of course, Cancer is motherhood. It is children. It's the home. And how has that been oppressed and repressed in our societies and structures? Black Moon Lilith is actually opposite to Pluto in Capricorn, so that theme is still being incredibly highlighted. And now here we have this full moon, and there's this opportunity to envision a new future around feminine wisdom, around motherhood, children, okay? So we have this opportunity to create something new and big with these energies. This is this breaking down the old around those structures and that oppression to create this new vision for the future. So I do hope that is helpful for you and supportive for this first few weeks of December. Again, I know the energies are incredibly intense, especially when you throw on the holidays on top of it. But really, be mindful tune back into yourself, tune back into nature when you have, because you will, because we all do, have those moments of anxiety and overwhelm. These astrology energies are really pushing us forward and asking us to build something new, to be these big visionaries. So look around you, look to the people around you, because they are going to be acting as mirrors and mirroring back to you your unconscious and what within you needs to get cleared away so you can move forward with this energy, this creation that you are birthing in a big way. Just, it's like this forward energy, burst of energy, momentum. It is coming. I can very much feel it, just as I can also feel the building energies taking us into the winter solstice. So take care of yourself, your energy, and your needs, and learn to say no thank you with love and grace when you do hit that overwhelm and that extra holiday party is just too much, or however it shows up for you. So I do hope that was helpful. And again, as a reminder, I do have my holiday offerings for 10% off all of my readings. So check out my website for more of that information. And please like this video, subscribe to this channel. It truly does help me. And I appreciate you all so much for being here. And I hope you have a wonderful first half of December, and hang on tight, okay? You are not going through this alone. And I'll see you guys soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.